1929 to 1933 U.S. government files 11 bankruptcy number 3 via the Constitution of the United States. Since the creation of the Federal Reserve System, the U.S. government corporation had paid its loans to the FRS with lawful money exchangeable for gold, once again became insolvent and could no longer retire its debt. President Franklin D. Roosevelt effectively dissolved the de facto United States government by declaring the entity bankrupt and insolvent under Chapter 11 bankruptcy. All of the U.S. government's assets became property of the international bankers, whom control the FRS. The bankruptcy started in 1929. Roosevelt came into office and immediately declared a banking holiday. Under the Emergency Banking Act, March 9, 1933, 48 Stat 1, Public Law 89 to 719, expressed in Roosevelt's Executive Orders 6073, 6102, 6111, and 6260, Trading with the Enemy Act, House Joint Resolution 192, since repealed, Public Law 73 to 10 of June 5, 1933, 31 U.S.C. Section 5118, confirmed in Perry v. U.S., 1935, 294 U.S. 330 to 381, 79 L.Ed. 912, as well as 31 U.S.C. Section 5112, 5119, Senate Report 93 to 549, and 12 U.S.C. Section 95A, which made all obligations, public or private, no longer collectible in gold. All of our gold was confiscated 2 months prior, to be turned in to the local FRS branch by May 1, 1933, and therefore no real money existed from that point on. This eliminated our ability to pay our debts. Instead, all debts, public or private, were to be discharged upon payment, dollar for dollar, in any coin or currency which at the time of payment is legal tender for public and private debts. Fed created and lent into circulation Federal Reserve notes became that legal tender. As of October 27, 1977, a federal U.S. Court of Appeals ruled on Title 31 U.S.C. Section 5118 that legal tender for discharge of debt is no longer required. All free American nationals residing within the Republic of States suddenly and falsely were expatriated, via their birth certificates as explained below, from their free human status without their knowledge or consent, and their labor, souls, children, property, sweat equity and credit became the financial collateral for the public debt, which had then been converted into a public trust. Scrip, money, or negotiable debt instruments were issued by a private corporation, which is owned by a group of Sabbatean European Jewish bankers, and which is known to everybody as the Federal Reserve System. These promissory notes were called Federal Reserve Notes, and our future treatment by the U.S. government was to be redefined in 1933 under 50 U.S.C., the 1917 Trading with the Enemy Act 5b, in which American citizens are now roughly defined as an enemy of their government, and this is the reason why a declaration of war is renewed yearly by Congress and the President. The National Banking System Act, Public Law 73 to 1, 73rd Congress, Session I, Chapter 1, March 9, 1933, Executive Proclamation 2038, March 6, 1933, Executive Proclamation 2039, March 9, 1933, and Executive Orders 6073, 6102, 6111, and 6260 prove that in 1933, the United States government formed under the executive privilege of the original martial rule went bankrupt. That's right, Americans became serfs, chattel property and enemies of the international banking cartel and the U.S. corporate government. They were expatriated from free American nationals into U.S. citizens. Legal term citizen means subject, i.e., serf. Bankruptcy compacts last 70 years in international law, and it was not applicable to any human/sovereign back then, as they were not signers or parties to the contract. It most certainly had nothing to do with any U.S. citizen. Our original Constitution was only applicable to the Confederate Republic form of government in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the foreign states and nations.